out fine, 'cause you're an asshole tonight.
All right, jabronis, we're back. Hope everyone had a good week. I don't remember what I did this week. Oh, I worked from the hotel this whole week. That's why I don't remember. It was all an absolute lazy blur of no working out besides prison workouts in here, push-ups, sit-ups, squat workout, and doing, some actual work when I could, being kind of limited here on systems. But yeah, had a workout here. Actually, speaking of working out and gifts and all that stuff, I got a sweet gift from my brother, Bonji Brandon Roper Hubbard. He got me this sweet band here that you put around your legs when you're doing doing with squats, lunges, different types of leg workouts to add some resistance and get you stronger. So that was super clutch because that came just in time for me to have to work out of the room like a psychopath. So I was able to do some good working out with that. And I'm going to be able to continue doing that next week because I got to do it again next week too. So Bonji, thank you for that. That was an awesome gift. I already got my money's worth or your money's worth on it. So thanks for that. Some more gifts I got, as if you couldn't tell, I got a new set of headgear here. Actually, I'm an idiot. I put it on without my hat, and within seconds, there was olive oil grease on the padding up here, and I immediately regretted that decision. So I apologize. This gift was from the Maloney family. So Bone Crusher Maloney, how you doing? His sister, our sister, Big Al, and then the father, Big Mike. So thank you for this. This is a really awesome gift. Top of the line headphones here. So now I don't have to hear the regulars outside in the hallway walking around thinking that I'm an idiot talking to myself in here. So I can put the blinders on now because I got this. These are awesome. So thanks for that. I also got this shirt as another Christmas gift from Bone Crusher. This is the Animal WWE special. Animal is, of course, Dave Bautista. He's an incredible wrestler, good actor now these days. So you should go check out his. I think he's got an autobiography out. We read it, but I'm talking to you now. I think we read it a couple years ago. It was a really good book, but one of my favorite wrestlers. So he got me this shirt. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's because I'm fat or I'm super jacked. Probably because I'm fat. But the mediums are starting to get tight all over. So I was happy to be able to get to de-sleeve this one because it was kind of choking me out a little bit. I had to stretch the neck out a little bit too because I'm becoming a fatso. But thanks for that. Thanks for making me feel bad about myself. So that's all I got for the gifts, I think, today. Headgear, shirt, fat ass shirt, and then sweet workout band from my brothers, my family. So that kind of just goes back to what I was saying all last week was just how incredibly grateful I am to have people in my life that care about me like this and to continue to bring good and joy to my life, no matter what the circumstances are. So awesome stuff. Thank you for that. But it's going to be probably a quick one today. So why don't we just get into it and step into the cage?
Okay, let's run.
Today's Into the Cage segment is sponsored by Rocco's Industrial Strength Ball Peen Hammers. Whether you need to flatten out a piece of sheet metal or flatten out a Stugatz's head for not paying his vig, Rocco's is the place to go for all your ball peen hammer needs. So to get yours today, head on down to Rocco's on the corner of 11th and MLK Boulevard in Garfield, New Jersey. And if you tell them Johnny sent you, you'll get 5% off your first hammer. Cash only. Rocco's. Now, what I like about Rocco's is on their hammer handle, pretend this is the ball peen, they put a special tape around it so it's better for gription and it doesn't get your fingerprints on there in case you're doing some wet work, if you will. So go over, talk to Rocco, tell him Johnny sent you 5% off. Great deal for Rocco. Cash only business. Don't forget that, please. Otherwise, we're all going to get in trouble. He'll probably use the hammer on you. So go check it out. All right. Today's cage fact. I really like this one. I mean, I like them all. I guess I'm biased. I don't know. But this is a really, really good fact. So this is going to be, I'm trying to think of how I can play this one to kind of take you step by step into the level of ludicrousy. Is that a word? In this fact. So in 2011, while Nick Cage was still married one of his times, he was in New Orleans. I don't know if he was living there or just visiting his tomb or whatever it was, but he was walking down the street in public with his wife at the time. And apparently some witnesses saw him grabbing her arm like aggressively, like not like a rubby, how you doing kind of thing. He was grabbing aggressive. I guess he seemed angry. He might have been drunk. He gets drunk sometimes down in New Orleans, does karaoke. But we don't know for sure. Regardless, a witness who saw that called the cops, and they came down and they arrested him. Now, I don't know if his wife, corroborated that he was being physically harmful to her, and that's why he got arrested instead of them just like saying, okay, move along, Nick, thanks for your service. But he got arrested and went to jail. Now, the story ends with him. The charges were dropped. The charges of, I don't know what it was, battery, aggravated assault. I don't know what it was, public aggression. Don't know what the charges were, but they were dropped. The case was dropped. There was nothing out of the ordinary in that regard. The thing kind of died on the vine. The interesting cagey thing, besides him aggressively grabbing his wife in public and getting arrested, was that while he was in jail, he was bailed out by Dog the Bounty Hunter. Okay? So, you all know who Dog is. Maybe I'll find a picture and pop it up here to show you who Dog the Bounty Hunter is if you don't know him. But he's that crazy guy who was a bounty hunter, had his own TV show, going around fighting crime, collecting bounties like a cowboy. And he has this incredible mullet. It looks like a horse's mane. Down long locks of blonde hair, always wearing like fake flea market Oakleys, like the ones I got at the Aqueduct Flea Market with Big Margaret, and a sleeveless like leather biker vest or something sleeveless. He's big on the sleeveless, and I'm a big fan of that, so naturally I watch the show. But this clown, this animal, bailed him out. It was $11,000 bail, and he was the one to bail out Nick Cage. And now I don't know if they're friends after that. They should be. I would imagine Nick Cage would keep him in his entourage, his friend circle after that. But just a wild story. Just a normal run-of-the-mill arrest of a celebrity. Charges get dropped. Nothing to see here. But just the fact that he had that guy in his back pocket, Dog the Bounty Hunter, to come in out of nowhere from left field with that was just really fun for me to dig in and learn about. So I hope you enjoyed that Cage fact too. Okay, so again, we're just moving quick. I don't have a lot to bother you with today, so we're just going to move into the junction. Now, I was going to talk, and I will talk about this next week, maybe some other week. I was going to talk about one of the ideas I had. That was given to me, not my idea. I'm not a thief of ideas here. When I put my Instagram question up of what do you want me to bitch about or rant about on the junction next, one of them, there was a bunch of them, but one of them that I was gonna do was the go-to McDonald's order. So I have a whole spiel on what I order at McDonald's and why and all that good stuff, but I'll save that for another episode. What I do want to talk about this one is look, you're here, a mental case like myself, you're a Jersey greaseball. Myself, you're stuck in a hotel all week working, and I was working as much as I could, but you usually go back when you get in that situation, instead of becoming a complete nut job greaseball, you kind of go back to your roots to get some sort of grounding in you. And for us, and I think I could speak for the majority of New Jersey greaseball idiots like myself, to go back to get that calming relaxation reset emotionally, mentally, is to go and rewatch Sopranos. TV show that was on HBO back in, I think it was like 1999 to 2007 or something like that. It's arguably the best TV show series in the history of TV series. And that's objective. I think that's what like real experts say on the internets, that this is what the best of the best looks like. It's The Sopranos. So of course you get a good show. It's about Italians and mobsters in New Jersey and New York. And we're gonna fucking flock to it like the salmon of Capistrano. Sorry, Terrence, family show, I know, but that's our show. The Godfathers are our movie. The Sopranos is our show. We go back to it. It completely brings back all the good stereotypes that you want in a hypocritical Jersey greaseball. So we love going back to it and then pretending that we're mobsters with the 3-finger points and the gold chains and all the how you doings. I think we're tough guys. We go back and watch that and then we're immediately tough again. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get tough while I was doing my prison workouts in here. So I went back and started watching The Sopranos again. Now, one of the episodes in The Sopranos, I think it was I'm pretty sure it was first season. It was the main character, Tony Soprano, and his Goomba brethren. They all have daughters and they all have kids, but for this particular episode, they were all at their daughter's like high school soccer game. Now there's a good storyline of the soccer coach who they tried to bribe to stick around, and then they found out he was sleeping with one of the players, so they had to, take care of him. But this particular episode, you got, I think it was like 3 or 4 of these fat, greasy, like gelled hair, track suited up animals at this high school soccer game. And they were screaming at the ref. One of them, Silvio, ran out to the field to yell at the ref, and he was kicking grass and dirt on the soccer referee for a bad call. They were starting fights. Everyone was cheering and yelling for him. He took his shirt off, and now he's got just a guinea tee on. And then you see them, one of the daughters scores a goal. I don't know if they won. It was just part of the scene. She scores a goal. And these 4 fat, greasy Italian bastards are screaming and jumping up and down and hugging each other like they won the World Cup. Not like the kids did, like they themselves were the reason why they won the World Cup of soccer. And it was just a really funny, wild scene to take a look at. Just an electric scene of idiots just being emotionally happy and positive in this instance. And it was really fun for me to watch. It reminded me, though, I kind of rewinded back to my childhood when I was a kid doing Little League, soccer, CYO basketball, and what, seeing how our parents, cheered us on, or how they were fans when we were playing ball back in the day. Now, I talk about a lot of good stories of my parents just like trashing me on the field and telling me I suck and filming me and all this other stuff that makes them sound like, oh, they were against me the whole time and I have this complex now and blah, blah, blah. But I do want to, I want to make it known that they were, as much as they were critical and harsh on me when I sucked, and I sucked a lot at sports, they were just as supportive and fans of mine when I was doing well, or just working hard. Even if I wasn't that good at something, they were supportive. They were my number one fan. And that kind of brings me back to, that's kind of like what the junction topic is just talking about how, and I don't know if it's Italian-American parents just because we're loud, or if it's just a Northeast Jersey, New York kind of thing, where the parents as fans, it was sort of just like a different pedigree altogether. You got regular fans out there, the parents, especially these days, the parents are so soft on their kids. Everybody's the best. Everybody gets awards. They demand awards. You will give my kid a ribbon or a trophy just for showing up. He's such a strong boy for showing up to Little League. He needs a trophy immediately. It's always the coach's fault or the other player's fault or the ref or umpire's fault why their kid sucks. It's never the kid's fault that he's just maybe not good at baseball. He should be, taking violin instead. So when you have a group of loud, boisterous Italian-American parents in the game, you see the difference immediately. You got these again, loudmouths that are not only going to tell you when you're doing good, they're going to publicly tell you when you're not doing good. Now, I distinctly remember when I first made my baseball team in high school. It was JV baseball, and my coach, Rich, call him Rich, it was his first year, I think, as head coach of the JV team or assistant coach or whatever he was at the time. And it was my first time on the team. So the guys that were on the team, the majority of them all played together freshman year. I'm new. So they're used to their own fandom, if you will, their fan support throughout their freshman years. And then sophomore year, I finally made the team. So now I'm playing, and now you have my parents at the games. And, they're screaming, they're yelling, mostly at me, even when I wasn't playing. But when I was doing good, they were supportive and screaming and hollering like we were winning the World Series. And I'll never forget, after the game, we're in our coach's huddle, like our team huddle. And my coach, Rich, goes, who was that lady just screaming at you, Libretti? No matter what you were doing, you were getting yelled at. You were getting yelled for in support of. You were getting yelled at like you were losing the game single-handedly from the bench. What the hell was all that about? And I was like, I don't know. That's just my parents. That's what happens at games that I play. So my entire life has been like that. People yelling nonstop, all 9 innings of a game. And he was blown away. Most of the, especially the non-Italian players, were also blown away at this idea. And the other coach too, he was a non-Italian. We're just like, what kind of people are they? How do they have the energy to be able to keep this up all game? Blown away. Didn't faze me whatsoever. I mean, it affected me when they yelled at me and I sucked, but I'm saying like just the fact that they were doing it, that noise, that white noise, didn't affect me whatsoever. But it was sort of eye-opening to me because it kind of brought back the fact that Italian-American parents seem to be on another level. They're like one-of-a-kind type of fans. And I have so many good stories of my parents not only chewing my ass out, but also being my biggest fan. So we're watching Tony Soprano over here, at least I am, and I'm sure my brother's going to start rewatching it, and all the other greaseballs I know that might listen to this are going to start rewatching it. I know it because that's how I started watching it again, because somebody put it in my brain. But you watch these 3 Goombas jumping up and down like their kids just won the World Cup, and the memory just kept flooding back to me. And it really, again, made me happy thinking about those experiences as a kid and being so grateful to have parents that were so invested in your lives, where I know sometimes it felt like, God, get off my back. You're nonstop. Everything is, you got the microscope on me constantly, but more so than not, it was beneficial for things like that. So when I did good in soccer, I can always hear my parents, no matter what sport it was, if I was doing good, if I was on a breakaway in soccer, or if I had a home run in baseball, or if I got a walk in baseball, anything, I could hear my parents. They were all the way out in left field, in the street, wherever they were. I knew when they were there coming off of work, cheering me on, because you can hear them. They were very distinct voices. Everybody who's heard my parents talk knows that. And it just brought, an extra level of motivation to me. Sometimes it scared the shit out of me, but most of the time it brought a level of motivation. So it was really nice to kind of think about that throughout the week of all the good times I had playing ball, and the stories of all the fans of the other Italian-American kids that were playing ball with me, whether it was soccer or basketball or baseball or whatever. We had one kid, his name was also John. His father was our Little League coach for a little bit. One of the top Little League coaches you can have. If you wanted a guide to teach you, if you wanted to win Little League in an aggressive Italian-American way, you wanted John's father as your coach. I'm not going to mention their names or their last names because I haven't talked to them to get permission, so I don't want to do that to them. But his father was an animal out there on the field in Little League. He knew how to beat kids at baseball, and he taught us very well how to do that. And most of it, looking back now, most of it was not about being the best players constantly. It was about being the mentally toughest and to play those Jedi mind tricks with your brain to get the other team flustered, stressed out, freaking out, being in situations they're not used to, and then you take advantage of them. And you step on their throats constantly, and that's how you win games. And that's how he did. And his whole family would come to the games as well. Grandparents, parents. His father was the coach. His mother would be in the stands. His grandparents would be in the stands, but also come behind the backstop to make sure that the ump knew when he was blowing calls and stuff. It was incredible. His uncles would come to the games. His whole family would come, and they were the, I don't even know what to call it. Like, they were our fans, and they were going to let you know about it too. They rolled in deep, all from their jobs, right off of work, coming in hot. Cousins, grandparents, just a bunch of Italians with meatball subs and cutlets everywhere from Fangool Gabagool coming in and just lighting the place up. The little mini Little League stadium was just electric with them yelling at umpires, yelling at other fans, yelling at their own kid and me. Like, we were all kind of like their children, just screaming at and chewing us out and getting our asses about it. And it was it was such a wild time. I wish everybody had a Little League experience like that. I remember one time the grandfather came onto the field to yell at the umpire, and then the umpire kicked him out. And then they almost went at it. This was like a 60, 70-year-old man in a 12-year-old Little League game about to fight the umpire because he was sucking and our team wasn't winning because of it. Wild times. I wish I had better vocabulary. I was more of a smart, intelligent human being to better describe the situation that we had at Little League games my entire existence between my family and the other Italian American families that came to support in droves. It was just, I feel bad for the regulars out there, for the normals that didn't have that had their parents sitting in the corner reading their books and just, oh, Jimmy, good boy. Way to pick the bat up. I know you struck out 15 times, but go get that blue ribbon, kid. You did it. No, thank God I didn't have that. My parents were in my ass. All the Italian-American parents was in their kids' asses, yelling at them when they sucked. If I struck out looking at a pitch that was borderline strike, I heard about it. They got my ass about it. If I hit a double, nobody's kid was better than me, according to my parents, if I hit that double. Nobody's kid was better. And that was an uplifting thing for me. That was a motivator. They were a real X factor throughout my growth in sports and in life. We're talking about sports here, but in life too. They were a real X factor in that regard. And that episode of The Sopranos really brought it back to me. And I hope that kind of, gets your memory bank going a little bit to remember some of your hopefully better memories if you played sports or, violin or whatever you did that your parents supported. Because it was great. It was a great sort of growth, like building into manhood for me. I'm still not a real man, but those experiences and those memories helped shape me to the half a man I am right now. So it was a good week for that. It was a good week for me because of that, because I had all these positive memories just saturating my stupid brain all week instead of the other chaos that gets pushed out there in the media and social media constantly every day anyway. So that was great. Another thing that was really good was that it brought back memories of the lessons that they taught me, whether on purpose or inadvertently, throughout that time of my life and through their, I guess, fan tactics, if you will, and coaching tactics. My father was my coach for soccer, baseball, some of basketball too for a while. Never played soccer or basketball in his life. Figured it out, read Idiot's Guide to Basketball for Kids or some Goomba crap like that, and was my coach. And of course, he would chew me out. I was never like the coach's favorite. Like when he was the coach of my team, I was the least important on the team. I had to double earn everything, and at times it felt like he was giving me a bad shake. But I guess he was playing chess with me. He was playing 3D coach dad chess, making me try to earn it even more. And in turn, it taught me that work ethic, that working extra hard at something I really wanted and not having it being, fed to me on a silver platter, for lack of a better term. Because now when I want something in life, I don't just go and expect someone to just give it to me. I work like an animal at it. I might not be good at whatever it is, but I work like an animal, whether it's researching a topic or learning how to do podcasting stuff and figuring that crap out. I'm almost like I'm a monster when it comes to that. I get such a zone about accomplishing a goal or getting better or doing something. And I think it has a lot to do with my parents teaching me how to work hard and how to earn shit like that. And it came from mostly sports, because I mostly played sports as a kid. I wasn't doing a whole lot of, theater work or for, debate club or anything like that. Look at me. Do I look like a guy who can be on a quality, effective debate club? I don't think so. So I played sports. That was their way of getting me to learn about work ethic, about how to compete, that competition is good. It enables you to work harder, enables you to get tougher, to understand that in the real world, nothing is just going to be handed to you, and you have to try to get what you want out of life. They taught me that. They taught me how to take an L, take a loss in life. Whether it was an individual loss, me going 0 for 4 on the day with a couple strikeouts or something like that, or whether our team lost in like the playoffs or we didn't make a championship or whatever it was. They taught me that losing is real in real life. It happens. It's not just a thing that you can make disappear from childhood on. In real life, there are losses that you take. You could get fired from a job. You could get laid off. You could get in trouble for something. You could do something stupid. Your business can go under. Any number of things. You can lose your life in military or police work or fire work, EMTs, whatever. There are losses you can take, and you have to know how to deal with them at a young age so that you can handle the big ones as an adult. And let me tell you something. I've had to deal with a lot of big L's in adulthood that would have crumbled me, completely annihilated me as a human being, physically, mentally, emotionally, if I was not taught, at least back when I was younger in sports, on what that feels like to lose something, whether it's a game or whatever, and how to come through the rubble, how to break through the rubble after that, how to move forward, grow, learn, handle it like an adult, and move forward. And that all came from my parents being the crazy fans and coaches and supportists that they were. Support is a word? I'm just making up words all day today, folks. Lucky you. But I wouldn't have been able to learn that. I wouldn't have been able to learn how to deal with stress and uncomfortable situations and things I didn't want in life happen to me, and work through them and get better, learn how to get better from that so that stuff doesn't happen again, or can minimize that stuff from happening again. None of that would have happened. I would not have learned any of that if I didn't have the support that I did from my savage, crazy, greaseball Italian-American parents. And again, I don't know if other parents were like that. I do have a lot of friends whose parents were like that, and they weren't necessarily Italian. Most of them are from the Northeast. There's a couple from the South, so I'll give them that. So I'm not trying to generalize here, but from my perspective, my tunnel vision of North Jersey, greasy Ginzo, upbringing, our parents were the ones that were doing all this shit. And I'm completely thankful for that. For all the bad crap, my mom yelling at me and calling me stupid out on the field in high school, to them filming me playing soccer, to go back to the film after the game to show me where I sucked and how I was helping my team lose. All that is completely just buried underneath the multitudes and multitudes of good and positive stuff that they contributed to my growth through sports to become a better, more successful adult, if you will. So I'm extremely grateful for that. I'll never forget them for that. Obviously, they're my parents. Of course, I'm never going to forget them, idiot Libretti. But that's all I got today. I told you it was going to be a pretty quick one. I don't even know how much I was ranting on for. I'm sweating. Just when I get into a conversation and something passionate like this, talking about my family, I just start getting hot. That's one of the reasons for the D sleeves. I just get, sweaty and flustered. My hands start going everywhere like a goddamn animal. So I don't know if you enjoy that or if it's hectic and it's giving you anxiety or you're going to get seizures from it, but whatever. That's all I got. Thank you guys. Don't forget, I'm going to remind you of the 3 things to be a better person, to be happier in your life, and to spread the good. Exercise. Think about others as human individuals before you go and do and say anything, whether it's social media, real life, whatever. There are other human beings on the other side of the computer reading your 2-sentence diatribes, their daggers. So always think about that. And then be grateful. Number 3 is be grateful and thankful for all the good you have in your life. The people, the things, the special memories, the lessons you've learned. Be thankful and grateful for that. Because if you're listening to this program, this show, I'd be willing to bet you have a pretty damn good life. If you have the time and the ability to enjoy some big-nosed idiot yapping for 30 minutes at a time, if you have that luxury, I imagine your life is pretty damn good. You don't have a lot of really actual bad things going on in your life right now, for the most part. So for the good things you do have, be thankful. Exercise, think about others before you do and say shit, and be thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your life. Don't forget those 2 things. Thank you guys all. I love you for listening. Stay tuned for more to come next week. I'm working on some shit, trying to build a website for here, trying to get some actual merch going. I'm going to start small. The t-shirt thing is expensive right now, so I'm going to start small with like patches or stickers. It's coming. I promise you guys, I'm working on this shit. I'm a mental about it. So I'm definitely, I'm working on it every day and trying to figure it all out. So stay tuned for good things to come. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, rate and review this shit. Even if it's bad, I don't care. Put the 5 stars on the Apple Pod, write a review. Tell me how you think I suck. Put it out there. Tell your friends to like and comment and review this stuff. The more you do that, the more widespread this will get and the more I'll be able to provide to you guys. So there you go. Love you guys. Stay strong.
And I was talking to your mother, Jeff.